This video is brought to you by CuriosityStream. By signing up for CuriosityStream, you also get access to Nebula, the creator-owned streaming service on which my new exclusive Nebula original, A Brief History of Synthesizers, is streaming now.
Fuck. Am I doing this right? God damn it. How the fuck do you make a farm?
Is this the best video game soundtracks of the 2010s?
What the fuck are you talking about? Thanos poop?
Dude, I'm
are you
making
kidding
a video.
me?
What? Dude,
your username's Thanos poop and you're talking about Minecraft?
Nothing to do with it.
Come on, dude. You know I made a tribute to Minecraft.
You're
copying my shit.
It's my own thing.
What disc is that? What disc is that?
It's far. It's far.
Well, you better walk far fucking away from here, buddy. You piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. Whoa. Go fuck yourself.
Dude. Oh shit.
Am I doing this? Am I doing this fucking farm right?
Minecraft Volume Alpha was the soundtrack to my childhood. I listened to other stuff too, but there's absolutely nothing I listened to as much as that soundtrack between 2011 and 2014. And I wasn't even doing it intentionally. I just played Minecraft a lot. And that's why I thought it would be interesting to look at just how C418 composed and produced one of the greatest video game soundtracks of all time. Because it's not just a video game soundtrack. For a lot of people, it's an iconic part of their childhood. Looking back at the soundtrack for this video, I learned a lot about myself, and it ended up being a way more personal experience than I expected. But before I get all sappy on you, let's talk music. Minecraft's soundtrack was composed by Daniel Rosenfeld, a German producer and sound engineer. He met Notch, the creator of Minecraft, on TIG Source, a forum for indie video game developers. While Daniel had only scored one small game so far, the game Circle in 2008, he had self-released a number of albums on Bandcamp, and most of his music before Minecraft was pretty basic, experimental stuff that obviously wasn't meant for a large audience. Rather, it was Daniel finding his own sound in real time. Here's a sample from his album Bushes and Marshmallows, which came out 2 years before the Minecraft soundtrack. Armed with inspiration, Daniel set out to produce Minecraft's soundtrack and sound effects, but it turned out to be more of a technical challenge than an artistic one. The Minecraft sound engine was extremely primitive. It couldn't handle more than one looping sound at a time without crashing, and it only had 20 sound channels in total. The game was also unable to assign audio-related properties to objects within the world. For example, if there's a wall between the player and a zombie, Notch and Daniel had originally intended for the wall to block the sound of the zombie, making the game's sound design more nuanced. This feature ultimately had to be left out due to the intense processing power it would have required to communicate those relationships between blocks and sound. Similarly, Daniel also had to abandon his idea for echoes in the music and players' footsteps while walking underground. The game simply wasn't complex enough to communicate to the sound engine when the player was or wasn't walking underground. Additionally, due to the nature of Minecraft's gameplay, Daniel was forced to throw away tons of ideas he had for sound design. Early on, he had wanted to include different ambient music based around whatever biome the player was in at the time: tundra, savanna, woodland. But he had found that when actually playing the game, players move through biomes much too quickly for the ambient music to be anything but jarring. He had also composed music for fighting mobs, but since mob fights in Minecraft only last a few seconds, it didn't make much sense to include epic fighting music for such a short period of time. It would have been jarring, to say the least. While at first Daniel and Notch were both concerned that Minecraft would sound too empty, these sound-related technical limitations ended up working in the game's favor. They created a calm, relaxing atmosphere open to interpretation. And speaking of calming relaxation, it's time to talk about how Daniel made the music itself. Minecraft was Daniel's big break. And he made that happen by doing something completely different from what most people expected. He wrote beautiful acoustic ambient music for a game where you'd probably expect its soundtrack to be full of 8-bit chiptunes. During an interview with Vice, Daniel talked about how he really liked game soundtracks that take you by surprise. One of his inspirations was Dwarf Fortress, a game famous for its ugly graphics that also features a beautiful flamenco guitar piece as its main theme. He took inspiration from a game called Blueberry Garden as well. Blueberry Garden's soundtrack was a simple looping piano piece produced with a lo-fi style. In addition to these games, Daniel's biggest inspiration was the music of Aphex Twin. His appreciation for Aphex Twin's mix of electronic and acoustic ambient sounds without a doubt shaped the sound of Minecraft more than anything else. The Minecraft soundtrack, according to Daniel, ended up being 80% electronic and 20% acoustic. The entire thing was recorded and produced in Ableton Live, a piece of software Daniel described as so simple even an idiot could use it, which is pretty crazy because I prefer FL. Within Ableton, he used various plugins like software synths by Native Instruments or mixing tools by FabFilter. He even had a few hardware synths attached to his computer, a Moog Voyager, Dave Smith Prophet 08, and a Virus TI. He used these instruments to put sound to the loneliness of Minecraft, a game that was, at the time, in its alpha stage. It was an extremely basic looking video game that lacked the vast majority of what makes it fun to play today. There was no fancy lighting, no multiplayer, no hunger bar, no geometric shapes, just the player exploring a mysterious world by themselves. Knowing the game he was composing for just makes the calming piano chords feel all the more solitary and poignant. Of course, it's still a lonely game today, but back then you can really see why Daniel chose to focus so much on atmosphere and repetition. That's all the game was. In terms of music theory, the Minecraft soundtrack is pretty simple. I sat down to talk with my friend Patchymate about the music theory behind Wet Hands and learn more about how C418 was able to use a major key to create a sentimental, melancholy sound. Patchymate is an awesome artist who released his debut record, Primary, last year.
Oh my god. Looks like one of those pets from Club Penguin, yo.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Pets from Club
Well,
Penguin.
you know, no, the really puffy ones.
I didn't play Club Penguin. I played Webkins.
Oh, yeah. You were really, really lame.
So, anyway, I'm here with my boy Patchymate. And
how's it going?
He's going to talk about Wet Hands, and also he's going to show us his cool fingernails.
Okay, cool.
So
now that we've gotten that out of the way.
Yeah, Wet Hands. What do you have to say about Wet Hands from the Minecraft soundtrack?
Wet Hands is actually my second favorite piece from Minecraft Volume Alpha. I think it's perfect in just about every way. And the reason it works so well as a Minecraft soundtrack is fundamentally because of this concept of harmonic ambiguity. Is this idea that like it doesn't stay in a centralized key or key center. It kind of floats ambiguously through different harmonic places. If you look at the sheet music, you can actually see this. Well, yeah, I think Wet Hands is just one of those where like you listen to it and you feel whatever you feel in that moment amplified. Mm-hmm. It can be bliss, it can be sadness, it can be fear, it could be anything. It's just so perfect in the way that, and looking at the music theory of it, I guess, the arpeggios, the pattern, and the predictability of that leaves it for like, okay, there's this sort of certainty in the piano rhythm that it's going to do up and down and up and down, right? So the flat 7 is the 7th scale degree of A flattened. So the 7th scale degree is G sharp. Flattened, it's G, and you have that major, flat major 7. And that chord is really powerful in conveying somberness and melancholy, but it's major at the same time. So it still feels like a lift, but in a way it's kind of like a soft pillow.
Revisiting the Minecraft soundtrack, dissecting it as a piece of music, learning more and more about C418's production, and even just playing the game for the first time in a few years brought me to one simple conclusion. We took the Minecraft soundtrack for granted, because for me, working on this video ended up being a look at my own past more than it was a look at gaming or music history. Turning on Spotify, searching for C418, and just playing the soundtrack from start to finish was something I've done probably a dozen times since starting to write this video. At first I was doing it to get a better feeling for the production and the composition, but as time passed my listens became less focused. I started to remember what Minecraft used to mean to me and the person that I was back then. The hopes and dreams that filled my mind around 7th and 8th grade flooded back, and I've been filled with emotion ever since. Emotions I haven't felt in almost a decade. I got Minecraft on the 12th of December 2011. I had just turned 12 a month and a half earlier, and I was finally starting to make friends in school after being a pretty solitary kid ever since I can remember. It wasn't that I didn't understand social cues, but before I reached middle school I just didn't really care. So here I am, little 12-year-old Volksgeist, suddenly forming complex bonds with other people on Minecraft. Before long I found servers to play on, and I made friends from all over the world. It was a completely new experience for me. Introducing me to so many different people and ideas, Minecraft expanded my mind. I was able to imagine so many new things, even outside of the game. I started thinking about what I wanted to do for a living, and all of the places I wanted to visit when I could eventually afford to go. Especially going through a period of instability in my family, I leaned pretty heavily on Minecraft and the friends I had made through the game. I remember exploring mod packs and making shitty Let's Play videos that no one ever watched. Years later, I still keep up with some of those friends I made online. One of them is a lawyer in Australia. Another one got on the news for walking 4,000 miles to visit his online friends. One of them, a kid from Maryland, just texted me while I was writing this video. We talked about college and life and family. What I'm trying to say is, we're all making our way in the world, finding our place and doing our thing. Hell, I'm a YouTuber now. So many kids wanted to be YouTubers in 2012, it was a joke. But here I am, I'm doing it. It doesn't look how I thought it would look, and it certainly didn't happen on purpose. For most of high school, I wanted to be a professor or a writer, but I'm doing this and I love it. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that we took Minecraft for granted. We had so much mental freedom back then, we were allowed to spend our time and energy on almost anything we wanted, as long as we got all of our homework done on time. Of course, we weren't old enough to drive or have jobs or actually do anything for ourselves, but we didn't care. How can you miss something you haven't experienced yet? It was truly a time of innocence. Today I have a different kind of freedom. I make decent money, I have a nice car and a good amount of popularity online. I can go anywhere. I do go anywhere. 2 months ago I moved from my home state of Connecticut to Texas on a whim. I love it here. It's warm, sunny, quiet, and beautiful. I know I can't stay forever, and maybe I won't even be here much longer at all. But moving across the country is a decision I never could have made until now. But freedom is accompanied by responsibility. I'm growing up. I have to take care of myself, worry about my future and my present, pay bills, and plan ahead. It's worth it, and I wouldn't want life any other way, but some things just don't appeal to me anymore. Even Minecraft struggles to hold my attention. While playing these last couple of weeks, I found myself cheating to take shortcuts I never would have done before. That sense of mental freedom, where I could hope for anything and dream of anywhere, is gone. I am who I am, and I am who I'm going to be now. There are so many things asking for my attention in life, I often feel trapped by expectation and responsibility. I'm not the kid I once was. I'm an adult now. I don't wonder about the what-ifs in life. What if I wrote an amazing book? What if I traveled to Italy? Those imaginative thoughts are gone. Now I wonder about the whys. Why am I depressed? Why won't jschlatt call me back? But there's one thing that can bring me back home to myself. The second I hear that signature Minecraft melody, I feel innocent again. Suddenly I feel less cynical. I don't feel trapped. I can put on Minecraft Volume Alpha and think about my problems more clearly. YouTube ad money going down? Maybe I'll go back to school next year. Miss my family? I'll call them tomorrow. Miss jschlatt? If there's anything I've learned, it's that everything changes. I've moved 6 times since I bought Minecraft. First from house to house, then to a different neighborhood. Now I live away from my family, 2,000 miles from where I was born. Since I started working on this video, I felt more alive than I have in a long time. The simple act of listening to the Minecraft soundtrack reminded me of who I once was and who I wanted to be. It reminded me to never stop learning and thinking about new ideas. If I want to feel young again, all I have to do is watch more documentaries and read more books. Go hiking. Take time off to do nothing but look at the sky and appreciate the gift of being alive. I read more now, and I'm studying subjects that interest me just because they interest me. I want to feel like life is beautiful just because it is, not because I'm getting something out of it. In the end, we're all just lucky to be here, and that should be good enough. Even if I never play Minecraft again, I'm going to listen to the soundtrack forever. For the rest of my life, C418's music will be a symbol of my youth. It'll guide me by reminding me what I should truly hang on to and what I should let go. Because while life is long, it's also short, and there's no time to waste on negativity and stress. In the words of Jan Martel's Life of Pi, I suppose in the end, the whole of life becomes an act of letting go. But what always hurts the most is not taking a moment to say goodbye. But this video wasn't a goodbye to Minecraft. Minecraft isn't going anywhere. It was a goodbye to childhood, which despite only having ended a few years ago, will never return. It lives on forever in memory alone. This has been Volksgeist. Thank you for watching.
Hey viewers, and welcome to Minecraft Let's Play Survival Episode 1. I'm Mr. Griffin, and this is going to be a lot of fun. So basically, this is going to be a survival Let's Play, but I'm going to take it like no one actually knows what Minecraft is. So basically, Minecraft is an endless open world game with blocks, and you survive and build stuff.
Thank you for tuning in to my video about the Minecraft soundtrack. If you're interested in documentaries or educational content at all, I highly recommend checking out this video's sponsor, CuriosityStream. Right now you can get a year's subscription for just $11.99 or a month-long free trial with the code Volksgeist. Not only that, but if you click the link in the description, you'll also get access to Nebula, the streaming service owned by creators like myself, Polyphonic, Adam Neely, Middle8, and more. I just released my first Nebula original, A Brief History of Synthesizers. It's a documentary about the history of synths in terms of technology and cultural impact, from the 1890s all the way to Tyler the Creator and Travis Scott. Nebula is a great way to find out more about the world around you with original content from dozens of YouTubers. And it's also a great way to support creators who are looking for freedom from the constraints of YouTube. In terms of programming I recommend on CuriosityStream, Capturing Woodstock is a great documentary about the Woodstock Music Festival. The popularity of music festivals is a fairly recent development for Americans and the Western world in general. In 1952, the Newport Jazz Festival introduced the idea of music festivals to Americans. And just 17 years later, the popularity of the Woodstock Festival in New York ensured that American festivals weren't going away anytime soon. In fact, Woodstock spawned a massive commercial industry that continues to this day. CuriosityStream is the best place to find documentary content online, with thousands of documentaries on a whole host of topics. If you're already using Nebula, I also want to give you an extra big shout out. Nebula is growing quickly, and it means a lot to us creators that our audiences are willing to support us so strongly. So if you want a year's access to CuriosityStream and Nebula for just $11.99, you can go to curiositystream.com/Volksgeist. You can also get a month free trial at the link in the description below.